Search through my life for stars. Run a cornfield to find a piece of home. Count the years in your space. After all over town is closed shop. Remain. Bore the concrete in place. For new sound, new stage. No blood, no spit on the voting faces. Ask me once like there's no sense in this. And dying tonight. Feel things that you lost in the fire. Like a cold winter night. When you feel like there's nothing that surrounds you like nothing at home. When it's time to move on, time to go up, time to roam. Bear the salt of your name. Build an empire that lasts as long as the fire. Be the noble brigade. Shoulder the orders like there's no sense of borders but blank. I will gain. Jealous for vain. Life than the truth and was the money we made. Ask me once like there's no sense in this dying tonight. Feel the things that you lost in the fire. Like a cold winter night. When you feel like there's nothing that's to surround you like nothing at home. When it's time to move on, time to go on, time to roam. When you feel like there's nothing that surrounds you like nothing at home. When it's time to move on and go up, time to roam. Yeah, time to roam. Time to roam. Hello, we are Adrian plus Meredith from Nashville, Tennessee. We're happy to be here.
Very happy.
We got a lot happier after eating sesame donuts. That was a song called Rome, and we're going to play a song called Take a Boat. And we wrote this song about our van that we tour in. Set your line, catch a wave. Post flag, lead the bait. Showing overseas every time we turn the dots. He'll land me the things you'll learn. Singing along with the best, but you be afraid. Take a chance on me. I'm from the old sea. Star rich is the gold summer hospitality. You be singing along with no time, but all you need. Take a boat, it's the new train. What's ever in an evening? Packing it up and ship it around. The meantime, I get you to pay by the pound. Circle the wagon, bring it all down. Let it never be the same. Never know what you'll gain. There's too many marks on your permanent record to go from which you came. All got a brand new tune to sing along to. Losing the war, winning that game, you'll see. None of the chances to be free. None of the life for you to believe. They strictly on my company. But it's a shame that reasons to blame like a broken barrel waiting on the rain. Take a boat, it's a new train. What's ever in an evening? Back it on up and ship it around. The mere time I get you paid by the pound. Look at the wagon, bring it on. Let it never be the same. Never know what you'll gain. There's too many marks on your permanent record to go from which you came. I gotta bring the tune to sing along to. Losing the war, winning the game, you'll see. Now the chance to be free. And the life you believe. It's strictly on our company. But it's a shame there is easy to blame like a broken umbrella waiting on the rain. Take a boat, it's an evening train. What's ever in an evening? Packing on our van, ship it around. The mere time I get you to pay by the pound. Circle the wagon, bring it on down.
Way to get things going, guys.
Thanks.
It's chilly out there, so we have
did
to
our
stay
best.
warm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's unusually cold here in Portland.
This is cold?
For us, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll take it.
Anything below 50, I start getting whiny.
Fair enough.
Anything below, I get whiny. We grew up in like the Chicago and Detroit area, so it's still, I think they're still under like 4 feet of snow up there. Nobody's actually heard from anybody since Thanksgiving, so we're not entirely sure how they're doing.
We hope they're doing all right.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers going out to Wisconsin and Minnesota. But we live in Nashville, Tennessee now, and we escaped before Armageddon happened. So.
Well, welcome to Portland.
Thank you.
And you've got the Folk Fest this weekend, which is, I'm sure, the main reason you came up to Portland.
It is, but there's so many great places to play in Oregon that we have found. This is our like 5th time in Oregon, and we just keep on coming back because they keep asking us back. So, thank you. I think I'm sorry. Maybe I don't know.
One or the other, maybe both.
Both, definitely both.
Now, the Folk Music Fest this weekend, are you playing Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, so it goes on both nights, but we're playing on Saturday. We've got a full band with us at the fest too, so we'll have a bass and drum. We hired them out from Portland, so some local guys that are going to be hanging out with us, playing some tunes. But yeah, I know the Folk Fest starts tonight, I believe at 6 p.m. And you can still get tickets at the door, but we're really excited. We'll play around 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah.
Very fun. I'm actually wearing one of the bands that will be playing the festival.
Ezra Bell.
Yes.
Very good. I like them a lot.
Yeah, it's a fantastic lineup this year. We're looking forward to performing, but we're even more so looking forward to hanging out backstage with all of our friends and buddies that we haven't been able to see for a while. So
We played the festival last year as well, and the backstage hangout was really great. Yeah. So we're excited for the backstage hanging out again. Portland knows how to party.
Yeah, Portland musicians have quite the community here.
Reputation as well, yeah.
I was being nice.
Me too.
Shifting gears a little bit, for those listening who want to find out more about you and where they can find your music, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, so everything can be tracked online, mainly at our website, ADRIANmeredith.com. It's ADRIAN plus PLUS, and then Meredith, MEREDITH. And that's pretty much our handle for everything: website, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, you name it.
Twitter.
Someone has put us on it. YouTube,
TikTok. I think we're on TikTok. We're not on TikTok.
We are not on TikTok. Though my 17-year-old cousin gave us a long lecture over the holiday season as to
why we should be on TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We don't understand it though.
Yeah, I mean, were you ever into Vines?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we
did Vines for a little while.
Yeah, but like it's really just fine.
Well, all I remember is that she showed us how to use TikTok, and then 4 hours later, I stopped looking at my phone because it was just like a black hole of time. Is what happened.
How much time do you normally spend just playing, though?
You don't need to admit that on air.
Less than the time that I took on TikTok. Really, TikTok kind of took all that over.
Give me a little insight as to what band practice is like then when the two of you get together to play.
It actually feels a lot like this. We only our cat
Welcome
is
to our practice.
Our
right now.
cat is staring at us, kind of begrudgingly, wondering why the humans are making noise again. But otherwise, yeah, it's us hanging out in our living room, dancing and playing and giving each other a lot of
two-man party.
Crap and yeah,
two-man party.
Yeah.
Who is the main songwriter?
I think we both are now.
Yeah.
I think when the project first started, I had a couple tunes that I kind of was already playing, and Meredith kind of learned those songs, and then Meredith had some songs as well that I learned, and that was kind of the first batch of songs, and then we're working on another record, a second record, and those are kind of the whole record is kind of just both of us writing, which is great.
Yeah.
It's definitely been come together.
Definitely been a process of growth. When we met, Adrian was kind of out there in the world doing the solo singer-songwriter touring thing. I was mostly playing old-time fiddle music and kind of doing some more collaborative stuff with some friends and had a couple bands going. So over the years, we've really kind of pushed each other into co-writing, which has changed Adrian's writing style and definitely pushed me to write more. So now a lot of it is, it really is split, and now I'm starting to even take some lead on some of the writing. So it's been a fun growth. Yeah.
You mentioned it's changed your songwriting a little bit. In what ways?
That answer is a little different for both of us. So I think when I first started playing music and Meredith joined me, I was playing more punk music and louder and aggressive music and had less familiarity with folk music. And Meredith was playing what's called old-time music, which is basically a bunch of guys that look like Santa Claus sitting in a circle and playing the same three chords over and over again. And Meredith was somehow...
You paint such a beautiful picture, Adrian.
Well, just an accurate one. I think. But then I learned that I could, too, grow a beard, and then I could sneak in, and they wouldn't recognize that I wasn't 76 years old.
You did great.
I did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I think in terms of how it's really changed our songwriting, the way that we write now, because my primary instrument is fiddle more so than vocals, we'll start there. A lot of times I know some people start with the lyrics. We now really start with guitar, fiddle, melodies, licks, hooks, that kind of stuff. And the lyrics kind of come later, which is different for everyone, but that's kind of
there's a new one that we started that the clogging happened first, and we wrote to the clogging. So really, truly, all aspects of what's going on. There's two clogging boards on stage right now, which is basically just the shelving from the motel we stayed at last night.
I was going to say, wait, you
they're
bring
very-
these from home,
They're
right?
helpful. They're definitely helpful. We'll probably return them after this, but yeah, they're just a piece of wood. We actually have clogging boards in Nashville, Tennessee, but we flew out to Oregon on this trip, so we borrowed pieces of wood, but that's all they are. But there's a lot of different components going on stage. I'm playing a claw hammer style that sometimes has a certain kind of writing to it, and that kind of fits more to what Meredith's doing on the old time music. And then there's other different picks in my little shoestring of picks down here that play more of the punk music that I was doing beforehand. So it really depends on the environment that we're playing in and how we're feeling that day. These days, I suppose we're feeling funny. Yeah.
You occasionally bring in other instruments, like listening to your music online on Spotify. I hear a harmonica. I hear other instruments being pulled in.
Absolutely.
How do you make that decision in the songwriting process?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's easy. The whole band is actually co-workers of ours at the local pub 2 blocks from our house. And so that was really easy to find those guys. And after that, to answer your question, we kind of just write what we do. And the best part about what we have on stage with us is we give them kind of full reign to do what they do. And that trust really has never led us astray, you know.
Yeah, we really do. We have a horn section on our record, and then also sometimes when we tour, we'll have a horn section, trombone, trumpet, maybe saxophone. We'll have a pedal steel player, which if anyone kind of knows what that instrument is, typically it's traditionally used with very much like country music. But our really like long-standing band member, bandmate, his name is Paul Niehaus, and he plays the pedal steel, but he plays it in such a ethereal way. He really creates an atmosphere and a mood to everything. And so a lot of times when we write a new song, Adrian and I will flesh it out, the two of us, sometimes more fleshed out than others, and we'll have a rehearsal, and we'll bring everyone in, and we'll send them the song, and we'll kind of just see what happens. We let it be a very creative and collaborative process from that point forward, too.
I like to use the analogy that we put a bunch of coal in the fire and we let the train go down the tracks, and we'll see what town we end up in. So,
At what point do you know the song is done?
I don't think it's ever done.
too much dead air? Is there dead air here?
No, I don't know.
have no idea how to answer that one.
The decision to like record is its own, but even recording to me, some people get very, and it can be a stressful thing. It's this microscope that you put on yourself and your performance and your music, which can be hard. But another way to think about it is that it's just a photograph. It's just a moment in time. It's a photograph of where this song is right now in your career, in your life, and in your practice. So in that way, I don't think the song is ever done. I think that songs live and breathe, and they continue to be performed and changed. There's always an opportunity to go back and take another photo of it. So
I'm going to take another answer to the same question, completely different. I'm gonna say that I think Meredith is the same way. We don't write lyrics until the music is complete, usually. So that's kind of how we know that the music is done, and it really doesn't change that much past that. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. And then we pretty much know when the lyrics are done is when there's no more words and syllables fitting into the verse, and that's how we know that's done.
We used all the words there.
We used all the words. There's no words left. And we have to start pulling out dictionaries and thesauruses. So that's kind of how we know a song's done, is kind of just by the fact that that there is no plan. It's just kind of, there's no other thing to do. I wish it was a little bit more explanatory than that, but sometimes it's kind of like carving out what it's not, So.
Tell me about the next song you're going to play.
Well, you mentioned the song with the band and the harmonica. We had a really good friend of ours. His name is J.D. Wilkes, and he's in a band in Kentucky. He is a Kentucky colonel, just like Colonel Sanders is a Kentucky colonel. He is another Colonel Sanders type character, but this one plays harmonica instead of makes fried chicken. And so we had him play the harmonica on this song, and we're going to play that for you now. So.
Here we go.
Well, she's a devil of a woman. She's the devil of a woman. She keeps the demons waiting around for you at home. Crank the fan and I watch the wind blow. And I got a firefighting engine, folks, a firefighting engine. When my patience goes thin and it starts to show. Many a not enough, maybe or no. All my life, be the worst coming up around the bend. Better time, did right things, they'll hear a thing. We found a fixer down on West End when my patience goes thin and it starts to show. Many yes, not up, maybe or no. Maybe or no. Maybe or no. You bring the cheese and I bring the wine. You bring dessert, I bring the dining entertainment show here. So, rather snare, you bring the symbol. Nothing wrong with another occupational joke. They're all occupational jokes, folks, in all my life. All my life. We're skimming up around the land. About things, they'll there. Coming, walking away, walking away. But I'm not a man begrudging, no, 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 no. I'm not a man for cussing, but hey. Well, she left the moment that I went there. Told her to stay, told her to stay. Called the heart to say, all my life, you know, it's doing it around the bend. Better time. Need about things they'll be fine. Yep. That's how that song goes, I think. Never too sure. That is a song called Fixer. And that is off of a record called More Than a Little. And a record is something that happened before Spotify. And
Now called vinyl.
iTunes. Yes. Now it is called vinyl, in which you borrow grandma's record player that hasn't been used since 1988, and you play all of your favorite records on that now.
Yeah.
That song is on our record, believe it or not.
It is.
I actually believe it, yeah. All right. I had a song, it went away.
I'm maybe more than a little.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you were
The
thinking?
name of the record.
Yes. I had a feeling that was where you were going with that. Yeah. So we're going to play a song called More Than a Little. It was the title track off of our last record. We're excited to have another one coming out soon, but this has been one of our favorites to play. One of the first ones Adrian and I really co-wrote together. So.
Out there then I was traveling along with my sins of feet. God was a bone, I knew the whistle blow. His mother and called her on the phone. Gave her wing, gave her heck, gave her all that I'd known. It took 7 long days and 40 long nights to keep our spirits alive, keep up the good fight. And every little louder each me despite, keep the path tried and true, keep the wrong left from right. Ooh, that's a saying. Some bull crap by the pound. I give you more than a little, spinning around. I give you more than a little, you ever leave this town. I heard the bells, felt the eyes, half a dozen native men bad in my chains. I empathize and rock to see the scenes like you that whistle blowing, keep the train moving, keep the train moving, hand begging now bound to the south of the wind. Ooh, that is fire. You speak, just hear the sound. I give you more than a little, spring around. I give you more than mountain. If you ever leave this town, come on. Like I makes you drift, drive on what's left in your will. You can't carry liquor, even mom needs some help. You bang into the speakers in the shine to get your fill. Ooh, there's a saying. Some more crap by the pound. I give you more than a little, there's plenty around. I give you more than most. You leave this town, I give you more than most. If you ever leave this town, I give you more than most. If you ever leave. That one's flat. 1, 2, 3, here we go. And that is how that one goes as well. We'll do one more song. This song is called, or maybe we'll just take a break for a second.
Yeah, for just a moment.
Uno más.
After I turn that off.
It's very retro.
Yeah, see how we are around here?
I love it.
Now, you had mentioned records and vinyl earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you normally listen to music?
We don't.
We're really hipster and cool, and we definitely have like the best record player in town, but actually we listen to it on our phone and our earbuds.
Yeah.
Spotify is unfortunately the easiest way to listen to music these days, even though it doesn't really pay musicians. Unfortunately, it's kind of weird how that works, but it's the easiest way to listen to music.
Yeah, and part of it is we end up listening to music in our car a lot. So when we're home, we love to pour a cup of coffee and pull out our record player and enjoy like a whole Saturday doing that. But we find ourselves in cars plugging in through, aux cables and Sirius XM and the whole deal. So, yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. We also go in and out of stages of listening to music. When we get down into the writing phase, sometimes we actually stop listening to music so that we can really just hear our own inner song. And then we'll go through stages of listening to a ton. And we'll do that even through asking for recommendations online to friends too. Who should we be listening to? Who's some new groups that are coming out? So trying to always be on the discovery circuit.
Also, not just how, but who. We don't really listen. I don't really listen to folk music all that much anymore. I either listen to my friends' bands and the new record that they're working on, or I listen to like a lot of hip hop, and I listen to music that really has nothing to do with what we're working on more often than not. Yeah.
Sort of a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Kinda,
exactly.
yeah. It's the ginger tea, if you will.
What would you say were the last couple albums you did listen to?
What have we been listening to?
There's a lady in Michigan called May Erlewine, Erlewine, and she has a record called Mother Lion that she did with members of Wolfpack, and Wolfpack definitely has a big name for themselves these days. But Wolfpack is another record that we listen to a lot. And then again, we listen to a lot of people that are our friends and people that we work with. So the harmonica player that was on the last song that we just played, Fixer, his name is J.D. Wilkes. He's in a band called the Legendary Shack Shakers. That record, I think we wear out if you can on an iPhone. I don't know how to do that, but we're going to find out. And we were listening to John Moreland on our way in today. That seems like very good music for
Portland,
the Oregon area.
Portland weather always makes me pull out and listen to the Goo Goo Dolls, Dizzy Up the Girl from front to back. And it's the full range of emotions that rain also brings out of me. So that was my last like front to back record that I listened to.
The Garden State soundtrack.
Oh, the Garden State soundtrack. Yeah.
All the
No rules,
emotional
no
tear
rules. Sky's the
jerkers.
limit. We have a lot of feelings.
Just to go further back on that, do you remember the first album you bought for yourself?
I remember the first album that I got. Well, one, it was a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber, but the second one was a record that the Easter Bunny brought me in my Easter basket one year. It was Eileen Ivers and Bonnie Rideout, which are two amazing fiddle players. Bonnie Rideout is a Scottish fiddle player, and Eileen Ivers is an amazing Irish fiddle player. And I can truly say I wore those out. And when I was in high school, I actually got to meet Eileen Ivers at a folk music festival. She was a huge inspiration to me ever since that moment. So that was I was a weird little kid. I listened to fiddle music instead of Backstreet Boys, but you know how it goes.
I didn't listen to Backstreet Boys either.
It's okay. This is a safe space, Adrian. You can.
Yeah, I did not. Even in the safe space, I didn't listen to much Backstreet Boys. But I think my first record was Warren G. Regulators.
Excellent. I got grounded for a month after my mom found that under my mattress.
Now that you remind me, I think my first record ever that I bought with my own money also got me grounded for a month. I actually think that's how it worked. I think it was Christmas or something like that, or something. I bought it for myself, and my dad asked me what it was, and I said it's my favorite record, and he said, "Okay, put it on." Right.
Busted.
Silence. Yeah. He didn't like it as much as I did.
Yeah. I don't know. But to this day, I'm sure anytime you hear just that little intro bit of Regulators.
Absolutely. Round up, That's a special time in hip hop music. Now they make Netflix specials about that time in music, so.
Fair enough. Going back to your music, of course, that you're playing now.
No, I mean, we can talk about Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg all day long if you'd like. I really, there's a lot to talk about, the East Coast, West Coast battle.
It's true. Very true. We had a discussion earlier about if John Lennon were still alive today, who he'd collaborate with, and
That's
Tupac
a great
came
interview
up.
question. That's a great interview question.
That was just our chatting before going on air, but...
I'm going to think about that one, and we'll get back to you on that one.
But
Yeah.
I
Stay tuned.
I think I agree with the shout out to Tupac that he probably would.
I mean, if he's still alive somewhere, then he would probably appreciate me saying that here at KPSU.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Well, going back to your music.
Sure. We're trying. We
I know.
just can't.
Hey, when you talk about music with musicians,
It
the
can go
conversation
anywhere.
goes anywhere. This is very true. tell me the name and inspiration behind your next song that you're going to play.
Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah. So this next song is a song called Kids These Days that we wrote recently. This last year we spent a lot of time in Europe, about 3 months total, traveling around Europe. And it really changed our perspective on the world and, what people think of us as Americans and what we think of the world and how it all kind of comes together. And we were in some very small towns all over Europe and, met people that had just met Americans for the very first time. And
We were Meredith and I were the first Americans that some people met, and we were kind of like, don't worry, they're not all like us. Sorry. Or thank you.
But this next song, it kind of came out of some of that and all the fear in the world, and it's not just in America, it happens everywhere. But Adrian and I, we always try to stay hopeful and to find songs about hope. So this is actually a song that we wrote for the next generation, those teenagers out there in the world that are doing really good work, now college kids that are doing really good work, that are standing up to all of our policymakers and in government, fighting the fight that some adults are too afraid to do. So this goes out to all of the kids out there that
I think her name is like Greta, but I don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah.
Van-
Yes. All the Gen Z kids.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Is that what they are? They're Gen Z?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. This is for Gen Z. All right. Kept with the program now, showed up with class. You showed me the needy and dang the oppressed. Pushed out the gospel of pain you've been teaching. There's silence and soulless, but empathy's breathing. They all grew up past down on this grieving, receiving the love but none what they needed. The kids are alright, they lock up, they got keys and they're pushing you out. All lawmakers seem to see it. Lonely nights, but not tonight. No more crimes that we've been judged for. Lonely nights, but not tonight. These nights that keep on coming. From now we first pull on this chain, rock and rest up on the left and right brain. Never again we'll see hate and blue by life. This moment right here, life this moment in time. That's a song called Kids These Days. That's a song that we can salsa to, you can mambo to, but it is not Mambo number 5. That's a different song.
A little different direction. Well,
California?
California, sure. For those of you that are just joining, we're Adrian plus Meredith. We're really excited to be in the studio. We're on tour from Nashville, Tennessee. We're playing the Portland Folk Festival this weekend. We're really excited for that. If you haven't heard about it, go check it out. There's a great lineup, a lot of fun stuff, and there's still some tickets available. So we're going to play a song called California in the spirit of being out on the West Coast.
We were just in California last week for a couple days, and we flew into San Jose, and we were promptly run over by several strollers. And some people running around in every direction.
Emotional support animals.
And emotional support animals, which there's almost more than there are strollers in the Oakland airport or San Jose airport. But this is a song that we wrote 10 years ago, actually. And the topic is about what we now can confirm is called climate change. It is many years ago, they once called it global warming. And really, we just botched the whole thing because of that, I think. So. Just another flat earth. One who talks to himself. It's 90 outside when it's colder outside. He says, I don't care, and I can kill the devil. Seen the worst in human nature, and I see why y'all fail. Yeah, it's a telltale sign. Like the Pixar sings as we run around the world, all the living and the dying. I'm never pro-life, I'm just pro-target. Punch the pilot light out, yeah, it's only getting hot. Say, what's the blame? Where's the answer? Who's the insane? How to breathe? When to lead? Why are we letting someone else lead? Yeah, it's crazy in this town and I'm getting nowhere fast. Who do I screw for a solution? Yeah, it's kicking my butt. Yeah, it's kicking my butt. Knowing I couldn't be one. So thank God for the baddium. Yeah, it's a wild hair in February. Don't enjoy your party. Yeah, the sweet summer air. Take the day off work. Take one like a daycare. We like African suits like Vanity Fair. What's the blame? Where's the answer? Who's the insane? How to breathe? When to lead? Why are we letting someone else? This is not our home. 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 What's the blame? Where's the answer? Who's the insane? How to breathe? When to lead? Why are we letting someone else lead? Yeah, California.
Not just about REM.
No, although I understand the haircut now. That makes sense. Michael's haircut makes a lot more sense now.
Do you have any fun tour stories?
Oh man.
I believe there was something about a car stuck in a tree.
Yes.
Yeah, we got our car stuck in a tree. Then we got a tree stuck in our car.
Yes. Generally speaking, car versus tree wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were on tour out this way. It was
Yeah.
our very first tour that I had ever done. Adrian and I had met. We had been dating. He was touring. I had a job. Life was going great. And
Jobs are overrated.
yeah, really liked him. And basically, we hatched this plan for me to quit my job and move down to Nashville with Adrian. But before we did that, we were going to go on a big tour. And Adrian was convinced. He was like, the best situation is going to be, I'm going to bring you out to the West Coast because it's beautiful. What he failed to mention is that most of our career was going to be spent touring the cornfields of Ohio and Indiana and Illinois. But it was a great
Not as pretty as
not
Portland.
as pretty, but still a great tour.
I remember the look on the lady's face behind the rental car agency in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She asked me if I was taking their brand new rental minivan anywhere, and I said absolutely not. And then I drove it to Oregon, and then I drove it to Texas, and then I drove it to Florida. I picked up a different rental car, and then I returned a completely different car to them in Fort Wayne, Indiana 2 months later. I'm not sure if they could tell the difference. It wasn't a minivan, so maybe they could. But one of the reasons why we returned a completely different car is because we were like 2 hours or 3 hours south of here. There's a highway, either 199 or 299, that comes off of the 5, and it goes through the very top of the Redwood National Forest, and then ultimately drops you off at the Pacific Coast Highway, whatever highway that is. And if you are driving said rental minivan from Fort Wayne, Indiana to the Pacific Ocean, that particular moment in time is the first time that you see the ocean on the entire journey. And it was a beautiful day.
We were feeling good.
It was feeling good. It didn't feel like work that day. It felt like we were on vacation for the day. So we had the rest of the day to kill. And there was a sign on the side of the road that said tour through tree. And we were on band tour, so that sign was for us.
It was a sign.
It was a sign. It really, truly
Literally.
was a sign. And so when we got to the tree, there was either it wasn't the right tree or it wasn't for minivans. But either way, we were supposed to go in the tree and out the other side. And we got in the tree and not out the other side. So we had a few hours to kill waiting for AAA. And with our VIN number and our license plate in full clear view, we propped up our iPhone against another massive tree and wrote a song about it, because we are not much for car mechanics, but we can write songs about what we just did. So,
Fantastic. Before we run out of time, because I think we have time, we've got exactly 4 minutes.
Yes.
So want to make sure we plug Portland's Folk Music Festival this weekend,
Yep.
Friday and Saturday, Crystal Ballroom.
Crystal Ballroom
Yep.
in downtown Portland.
And if anyone listening wants more of your music, it's on all the digital platforms.
Yep, online, everywhere. You can find us at ADRIANmeredith.com. And all the links are there.
Spotify, Apple Music,
Yes, all the things.
iTunes, Instagram, I think, does music now. It's hard to tell.
Where's the best place to find out about upcoming shows?
Yeah, also at our website, we've got a nice little tour page that we keep very much up to date. You can also get show details on Facebook. We're usually promoting on Facebook and Instagram as well. You can also sign our mailing list. You can do that online on our website, and let us know where you live, and we will let you know when we're coming within a small radius of where you are. We won't blast you with too much. But
Yeah,
if
we
we're
don't
coming,
send emails for
if
places.
we're
that
coming,
you
if
don't
we're
live in.
coming to your town, then we'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, if we come to your town, then we'll let you know.
Can you do a station drop, just Adrian plus Meredith?
Yeah, this is Adrian plus Meredith, and you're listening to KPSU at Portland State University.
Thank you. Do you have a short song that's like 3 minutes?
We do. We'll actually
We have one
play
that
this.
we can play faster.
We'll actually do birthday cakes. We'll play the song that we wrote the day we got our car stuck in a tree out here.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here.
DJ
Thank you for
Rochelle,
having
thank you
us.
so much for having us. Happy Friday, everybody. To sit back and wait, the other careers to blossom to take, the other rock stars to graduate. You know me, that ain't my style, but you know what, I'll fake. They thank you cards or birthday cakes. Time is short, this time is late, like a prince on the promenade. Got me wrapped up in spades, easy for weeks and hearts for days. No load on the clock till we get paid. You gotta go the extra mile. Camp the right away. Going strong till we hit the brakes. Ran at the end till we get the shakes. Gotta go the extra mile. You've been caught before with a million different dreams. You're smoking a broken heart or the song that it might sing. I'd be right behind when left you lay the starting line. The beating drum and the daily grind and whatever clip goes way. There's a hole in the story, it seems, running on other people's dreams, chasing the kings and the queens of the country. What do you believe? Look, I'm in the eye like the listening, you might say. They don't know what they're missing, and we both know it's bold-faced fraud. You've been caught before with a million different dreams. Keep strumming that old guitar till you find out what it means. But I've been right behind, left you there at the starting line. Beating drum and the daily grind and whatever goes away. When it took an old lady made it new. Find the words that fall me. I have felt so lonely to see them through. Right this on this string, this wood, this glue. Like falling slowly with eyes that know me like you do. Like you used to do, yeah, you used to do. They told me to sit back and wait for the other careers to blossom to take, for the other rock stars to graduate. You know me, that ain't my style, obviously.